Are you planning to get married in Germany and you are struggling with German bureaucracy? I get you. That is the main reason why in 2018, my wife and I decided to get married in Denmark. It was simple, fast, and almost stress-free. In today's video, I will walk you through all the processes from the paperwork to the final ceremony. And yes, I will tell you how to get married in Denmark in 2026. By the end of this talk, you will know how to plan your Danish wedding. It doesn't matter wherever you are in Germany or in Europe. Denmark. Why marriage in Denmark? Denmark, as most people call it, the Las Vegas of Europe for wedding. But that description is not entirely correct. Las Vegas is known for quick and quirky wedding, but Denmark organizes simple, legally recognized, internationally valid civil wedding. One can get married in Denmark on the same day based on the registry office that is responsible. And in this current moment, they have also reduced their document requirement. Now, there's no need for birth certificate in some registry offices and a single status certificate, which in German we call Ledige Bescheinigung. In 2018, my wife and I decided to get married in Denmark because we struggled with the German bureaucracy. So we went to, back then it was in Kiel, we went to Bürgerbüro or the Bürgeramt, and they required so many things. We had to pay a fee for them to conduct a background check in my home country, that is Ghana. And that was going to take some time for them to complete this task. And the fee was also exorbitant. So looking at all this stress involved, we decided to go to Denmark to get married there. Prior to our journey, embarking on our journey, of course, we called the bureau, the department that is responsible for the marriage. That was in Sønderborg. Back then, in 2018, it was not centralized. So we called this office and they scheduled a time for us. It was quite fast. Then in 2018, there was no middleman or an agent involved. You can directly deal with the registry office and they are fast enough. Within 2 weeks, you have your appointment already. When we got a date to get married, but prior to getting this date, we organized a car that have enough space for our two witnesses. So that was my witness and my wife's witness, 4 people in all. We also organized an Airbnb in Sønderborg because we didn't want to go to Denmark and come back on the same day. We wanted to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That is, get married and then also have a vacation in Denmark. So what we did was that we went to Denmark a day before the wedding and then went to the registry office. It's required to register in the town council. After registration, we came back home relaxed and then on the next day in the morning, we went to the town council where the marriage was being organized to get married there. And then afterwards, we had a small get-together. We booked a restaurant, enjoyed ourselves over there, took some nice pictures, beautiful ones, with a nice view. And then we came back to the Airbnb apartment that we rented to relax, to enjoy our vacation. And then on the next day, we set off back to Kiel, Germany. So basically that is a summary of how my wedding was organized in 2018. Now let's get back to the current issue at stake. In 2026, one may send his application document to one agency, which is the Danish Agency of Family Law. In the past, one could send his application to the registry offices, whether in Sønderborg or Copenhagen or Tonda, any of the municipality. But now there's one central agency controlling that. So after sending your document to the central agency, there is a waiting time of 5 to 10 days. Now back to the document. So the document that you need are first are your passport. or a residence permit or visa. That is visa to enter Denmark. But if you live in Germany, that means you have your Schengen visa. And so that means you have the right to enter Denmark and come back. And then you also need your divorce certificate. That is, if you were once married and divorced, you need your divorce certificate. Documents that are not required, but I will still have them with me, are the single status certificate and the birth certificate. They are not required, but I'm not sure whether it applied to all registry offices. And it doesn't hurt if you have these documents with you. So after sending the application to the registry office and then paying a fee of around 200 and 280 euros, I think that should be around 1,100 Danish krone. I am not sure about it, but I will confirm and put it in writing in the video. Yes. And then there's a processing period, which I already mentioned, which is, let's say, 5 to 10 days. But this processing period really depends, because I have experiences with people I directed them to marry in Denmark, whereby their processing period took really, really long time, simply because they did not fill out the forms properly. So if you commit an error during the fill out of the forms, it will cause your processing time to prolong. Therefore, one should try to fill the forms as required. And all documents should be properly scanned and submitted in the right order. So after processing your document and you receive a message that your application has been approved, one will have to select a municipality. So that is when you either choose Copenhagen if you're in Germany, especially in northern part of Germany. It is advisable to choose Sønderborg simply because you can simply drive to Sønderborg. Yes. And then you get married. I have some travel tips that I would like to give. So some travel tips that I would like to give to you guys are, first of all, one, so you book a flexible Airbnb or hotel. You don't necessarily have to book an expensive one. Book a cheap one. And second, either you fly to Beirut or Aalborg, or you drive to Sønderborg if you are in this part of Germany, Hamburg, Kiel, Flensburg. It is easier to drive there. And make sure you bring printed documents and translations, and their translations in English or German. And then after the wedding, you should know that your marriage certificate is valid in Germany without translation, because they have, I think the certificate has 3 languages on it: Danish, English, and German. And then also for tax and registry matters, you can register with your local registry office, that is the Standesamt or the Bürgerbureau, with your documents. Getting married in Denmark isn't about escaping love or rules. It is about reducing unnecessary stress and honoring your commitment with clarity and simplicity. If you're planning your marriage, or if you're planning to get married from Germany or anywhere else, Denmark might be a perfect choice. You will find additional information in the description section or in the comment section. And subscribe to Move Abroad Reality. Peace and more fire.